guys, to the final week's worth of action of the Online Racing League Corvette C7R Cup, guys. Today we are here at Indianapolis, and as I said, the final race of the season. You know, I really need a good result here to finish off the season on a high. You know, I'm also in a very, very tight fight overall in the point standings. Well, I think coming into this final race of the season, I was down in P14 overall, but that had not included drop results, so there was definitely a chance for me to move back up the field just a couple of orders as we come through on my qualifying lap. I hadn't really done that much practice for this final week. I'd sort of kind of forgot about it all until about 2 hours before the race, and then, you know, I started doing a little bit of practice, and this lap on the whole, it felt pretty damn good for me. You know, it was actually my PB, but considering I hadn't done that many laps, you know, that wasn't all too impressive. But as we come through into the final sector, that curb on the inside there, one that is either your friend or your enemy, to be honest with you, as we try and keep it nice, clean and tidy in through the final sector of the lap. Overall, it's been a pretty damn clean lap, you know, kept it nicely in between the white lines, near enough everywhere there, so, you know, I was very, very happy with that. I have one corner, I think, where I ran ever so slightly wide there, but coming through now, through the final corner, just got to be smooth on the trigger, you know, just got to be smooth on the joystick as well, you know, trying to make sure you keep a nice steady line, and down towards the line it's going to be a 1 minute 22.5 there, which actually was a very, very solid lap, you know, if I do say so myself, and that left me down in 15th in A lobby there. But TX3 Commando was on the pole, JSR Rossi in P2, the championship leader, Jacob Balkett up in P3 there, very, very strong showing from him as well. AMS Roadrunner, Forza RC champion in P4 with AMS Nightmare up in P5. Then if we have a look further down, we've got AMS Supreme, another AMS runner, and then my teammate EVR Mitch, the other EVR member, to get into A lobby for the final week's worth of action. AMS Swift up in P8 there, and looking down into the second half of the field, YMTV Mellish P9, FTR Adzaz up in P10, there, a strong showing from him. AMS Moshes, a little bit disappointed, I think, for him to be down in P11 there, but GTR Killers happy as well to get up into A lobby there. FTR Bobby 13th on the grid, and then we have got AMS Renter with the shark fin paint scheme, if you will, and myself, as I said, down in P15 there on the back row with AMS Ken Patchy overall there. But, you know, to get into A lobby, I was very, very happy with. You know, it's going to be a good chance for me to score some points in the final race of the season, guys. But it's lights out, and away we go. And off to actually a fairly clean start there for myself. Everyone using traction control, and it's looking like GTR Killers has not got off to the best of starts there. We've got Renter trying to have a look down his inside there, and down his water turbine. You know, all I'm trying to do is just keep it clean, try and keep out of trouble, you know, give everyone else a bit of space, try and have a look around the outside of FTR Bobby there, but he just cuts across me there, absolutely fine with that. There's a little bit of contact on the outside there, and I narrowly avoid YMTV Mellis there as he came back over the track. That was a very, very close one, and, you know, up to P12 then, so I've been able to make up a few positions from that little incident, you know, sort of in the mid-pack, if you will, and now skipping on to lap 5, and I was basically, you know, Ken Patchy, Achilles, and I can't remember which of the other AMS drivers it was, were all just sort of fighting over P9, and I was sort of just there, like, you know, not really trying to push, you know, just trying to take the positions if the chance ever arose. But coming to the end of lap 5 and just through the final sector there, FTR Bobby doesn't get a particularly good run at the final corner, so we're just going to try and switch back in, but unfortunately the Forza damage model reigns havoc once again there, and I just knew straight away that was my race entirely over. You know, just could tell by the way the car bobbled almost instantly. You know, I'd done a lot of damage to the car, so I had to dive it into the pit lane there, and unfortunately that left the first race of the evening as a complete write-off there. A bit gutted, you know, could have tried to take home some solid points there, but out through the final couple of corners then, TX3 Commando does end up winning the race, but unfortunately for me, P16, not exactly what I was looking for there, but a solid 1 minute 22.2 best lap there, you know, very, very happy with that. Proved that, you know, I wasn't actually too far off the top guy's pace there. But having a look overall then at the results from the first race there, as I said, TX3 Commando took the race win ahead of JSR Rossi there. Then we have got Jacob Balkett up in P3, AMS Roadrunner 4th with Swift, Nightmare, Moshes rounding out the top 7 there. My teammate EVR Mitch in the mid-pack there, but that left me on pole for the second race of the evening, the final race of the season, and yours truly will start on pole for this. We've got AMS Renter up in P3 with Bobby in P2. YMTV Mellish, who looked to be a very good challenger in this second race. Adzaz up in P5 there with AMS Supreme down in P6. Then we got Kempachi, P7, who took home a good haul of points from the first race of the evening. GTR Killers in the mid-pack there with FTR Mitch doing a very, very solid show there. You know, he's only come in very recently and is still looking strong. AMS Moshes P10 there with AMS Nightmare in 11th. And I think we've got AMS Swift, yep, in P12. Forza RC Champion AMS Roadrunner 13th on the grid. Then we've got Jacob Bowkett, JSR Rossi, and I think TX3 Commando will obviously round out the field, ready for the final race of this Corvette C7R Cup. Starting on the pole is the best chance I'll get all season to score a lot of points, and it's lights out, and away we go, and off to a pretty clean start. They got a slightly better start than FTR Bobby, but yeah, I think YMTV Mellish didn't get off to a particularly good start. A little bit further back, but, you know, coming down to turn one, you know, Bobby, he's too far back to, you know, really go for anything, so I'm just going to try and keep it nice and clean. But Bobby locks up entirely there. I barely scrape around the outside of him into turn one. That was too close for comfort there, but that's given YMTV Mellish a very good run right around the outside there. He squeezed me out over the curbs there a little bit on the outside of turn two, and coming through turn three, you know, I'm going to try and squeeze him out a little bit over the curbs, you know, eye for an eye, if you will, and coming now down into the hairpin, and he's going to dive it down the inside there, just about getting it alongside me there. It was quite lucky that I hadn't turned in, or I probably wouldn't have accidentally given, you know, any room there, but he's now going to try and have a look the long way around through the next corner. Got to try and give him the room on the white lines there, probably a little bit too kind as he was able to get through there, but well done to Mellish, you know, absolutely brilliant move, and the perfect start to the final race of the season for him. But, you know, I'm not wanting to back down just yet, but Mellish is an incredibly quick driver on this game, you know, coming through the second and final sector of the lap, you know, he's able to pull away just a little bit of a gap as he comes through the final corners. But skipping on now all the way onto lap 8 as we've got AMS Supreme piling on the pressure, you know, right behind me. He's a very, very quick driver because he's pushing me through the second sector there. GTR Killers quits the race as he got a huge amount of damage there, but AMS Supreme just pushing me through all the corners at the moment, getting right on my rear diffuser there, and through the next corner he's going to try and have a look down the inside in towards the next run, but unfortunately for me, I can't see where he's positioned in the car thanks to GTR Killers. But AMS Supreme, I think he was going to go down the inside into the next corner, but I turned in just about enough there, just so, you know, he couldn't go for the move there. You know, very, very aggressive on my defense. No, I'm not going to deny that. But I think, you know, it was harsh but fair, you know, in true honesty there. But coming through then, the final couple of corners, and down now onto lap 13, because Supreme is still all over my gearbox here. You know, I'm trying to hold on. You know, I wasn't too worried if Supreme got through, but, you know, all I was hoping for, you know, was a podium to round out the season there. And Supreme thinks about going down the inside, but, you know, I turn it into the corner there, and he just didn't have the car alongside there. So we hold on to P2 for now, and Mellish, you can just see, has absolutely run away with it there. But I run a bit deep in through the next corner there. That's not exactly going to be what I wanted there. Supreme once again thinks about a move, and through the next corner there, he gives me a little bit of a knock. Supreme there. Luckily, I managed to just about change the car down in time to, you know, not lose out too much speed from the traction control slip. But Supreme, he might have just lost his final good chance to try and get a move on me. He runs slightly into the back of me once again there through into the final chicane of the lap there. But Supreme still all over my gearbox here. And, you know, if I could get P2, that would be absolutely brilliant. And by the end of lap 14, one lap later on, Supreme just has not been able to get the move on me, guys. I'm probably going to upload the full second race to my second channel, guys, because Supreme was just all over my gearbox all race long there, guys. But we're going to come through for P2 in A lobby in the final race of the ORL season. That was just a much better result than I ever anticipated. You know, P2 against some of Forza's fastest drivers on the whole there. You know, Mellish was just ridiculously quick. There was no chance I was going to be able to keep up with him. But P2 gives me 90 points in the final race of the season. That will give me a huge, huge help in hand. Having a look though, MS Supreme came in P3 there with FTR Bobby P4, and Jacob Bowkett able to take home a good haul of points there, guys. But overall, in the series, I think JSR Rossi was able to take the victory overall there. Very, very well done to him. I managed to come through overall in P10 overall in this series, guys. But hopefully, you know, you have enjoyed all season's worth of action. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you're new around here, and you want to see more videos. And I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.
Yeah.